Hi, I'm Julian Blue, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am on here like a lot of other people, just trying to be less afraid of myself. Trying to be less afraid of everything, really. I'm someone who channels and is a psychic. I do energy work and sound healing, and I work in the realms of the paranormal. I have been trying to run away from myself and my calling for pretty much my entire life. I'm about to turn 46 this fall, and I am still trying to figure out how to be me unapologetically. And I am on here sharing because I know firsthand from doing this work and with my energy healing business that so many other people are trying to be less afraid. They're trying to stop sabotaging themselves from what they really want for their lives. And that's what I've been working on. And I am learning some things about myself. I'm learning some things about the process, and I just want to be on here sharing my story in the hopes that it enlightens or gives permission or clarity to someone else's story. Because really all we have in this world is each other and our shared experiences. I am looking at the world from my own individual perspective inside, and you're looking at it from your side. And if we don't communicate those perspectives, then I will only ever know my side, and you will only ever know your side. And within that, we can feel abandoned and lost and lonely, and just like we are the only ones dealing with the thing that we're dealing with, when really we are collectively dealing with fear and anxiety and self-sabotage, all of those things that are holding us back from being our best version of ourselves. So I'm just going to share a little bit about some of the things that I've been afraid of in my life and what I'm afraid of right now, and in hopes that it gives you some sort of even just camaraderie in this shared human experience. We seem to be very fear-based creatures, and what I've learned for myself is that fear is not a motivator for me. It doesn't motivate me to do better. It actually paralyzes me and shuts me down from doing what I should be doing or feel called to be doing. So I have been working in the last couple of years personally in my own shadow work. I have been working to bring up and uproot all of the beliefs that have gone so deeply down into my system and into like the wiring of my brain and my body that are so fear-based. Like, how can I excavate out all of these lies and all of the untruths that are swimming around in my head that are preventing me from doing the things that I really want to be doing here? Because it's exhausting, right? Like, has anybody else gotten to the place where they're just like tired of being afraid all the time? And I mean, it's just the pandemic, I think, really tanked our nervous systems. Everything was very fear-based and fear-oriented, and don't be around people because you might get sick, and don't do this and don't do that, and don't connect, and don't trust yourself, don't trust your body because you might die. And that, like, when you follow that fear voice all the way to the end, it always gets to the same place. You might die, and or even worse, people might not like you. Like, what could be worse than death, not being liked, right? You know, and it's so silly when we say it out loud, but that is the voice that is controlling our lives. And if we don't take a second to sit down and hear it and acknowledge it and say, whoa, whoa, like, what? You want me to be afraid of that and that and that and that and that? Like, I'm tapped out. Like, I no longer have the, like, you know, muscle strength to be afraid of it. You want me to be afraid of running out of money? You want me to be afraid people don't like me? You want me to be afraid of, you know, something happening to my kids or my closest relationships? Or you want me to be afraid of my health? Whatever it is, like, it's this force that is trying to always come at you from some angle. As soon as you have enough groceries in the house, your brakes are gonna go out on your car and you'll be like, fuck, I have to now do my brakes, you know? Or like as soon as you get all settled in to a new house, then, you know, some catastrophe happens and you have to like rethink it, or it's not what you thought it was gonna be. And you know, life is just a series of pivoting and catching weird fly balls at a crazy angle, and you know what I mean? Like just sliding in by the skin of your teeth at the very end. Like a lot of times that is what adulting feels like. And I think as kids, we kind of have this perspective that we're gonna grow up and we're gonna be brave and we're gonna understand everything and we're gonna figure out the rules and we're gonna understand, like we're gonna get out of high school and we're gonna stop worrying about what people think about us, and we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna have it all figured out and we're gonna do the thing. And a lot of us end up, you know, being parents ourselves and trying to teach our kids how to be brave and still feeling like we're imposters because we don't feel brave. We still don't feel like we know what the fuck we're doing. Like, I mean, my kids will come to me or they will say things like, they will call me out on my bullshit sometimes, you know, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, you get older and you hopefully get wiser and hopefully you learn how to trust yourself and who to trust, and you become less naive about the world, for sure. But you don't have all of the answers. You're never gonna have all the answers. And even me as a psychic who can, you know, see the future, like I don't even have all the answers. Like I have a real strong gut feeling, or I have like maybe a vision of a possibility of something that could happen, and I go towards that. Like, yes, I want to do that thing, but I don't have the playbook. I don't have like, oh, you know, start a nonprofit, which is, this is what I'm doing, right? I get asked to start a nonprofit to do research for frequency healing and sound research and energy work, which is what I'm doing, right? So start a nonprofit. How do I get the money for all of that? Am I going to get it by this date or this date? Like, you know, like I don't have those details. I don't know how it's going to work out. I just know that it's going to work out, right? And then there will be people that will come in to my life as I will share this plan that I'm doing. And they will say, well, how do you know that it's going to work out? And what proof have you gotten? And what are the dates when you are going to be receiving your funding? And, you know, how is this all going to make sense? And I have to come back, you know, to them with some sort of response that comes out of a place of confidence and hope and trust in myself, and say like, I don't actually know. Like, I don't actually know when the money's coming or how it's coming or how this is all going to make sense or be okay. I just know I need to step into it, right? And so those people sometimes can be very receptive to that if they are also people that are trying to eradicate fear out of their lives. But if they're people that are still stuck in fear, they're still watching Fox News every night, they're still obsessed with all of the things that are going wrong all the time, you know, they are going to come back at you with like, oh my God, no, don't do that. Don't do that. This is why, because I know somebody who this horror story happened to, and you're going to get in trouble, and things are going to go wrong, and you're never going to get what you think you're going to get, because I'm older than you and I've been around longer, and I can tell you that the world shits on you repetitively. And that is like their fear, right? That's their own personal fear. It's their own disappointment with their own things that they tried to do but couldn't do, or like didn't even try to do because they were afraid to do, but they're telling you that they tried but they really didn't try. Like, I mean, this is the kind of thing that you're going to encounter whenever you get like on top of your own fear, and then you say yes to something, and then you have to tell other people that you said yes to an idea, right? Anybody else watch or read Elizabeth Gilbert, right? With the idea beings that come to you in the middle of the night or while you're driving or in the shower, and they just sort of descend on you, you know, like fairy dust, and they whisper in your ear and they say things to you like, what if you did this thing? And you're like, that thing is scary. That thing is confusing. How would I get the money for that? How would I get the time for it? Would anybody pay attention to me? Will people judge me for it? You know, and you get past all of that and you say yes to this idea fairy, and you're like, yes, I will partner with you and co-create this thing being birthed into the world because I believe in it and it's something bigger than myself and I feel like it's a good thing, right? And you do all of that work. And then the next thing you have to do is tell somebody else about it. You have to say like, hey friend or partner or child, like, I'm gonna do this thing. And I believe in it and I'm really excited about it. And then that person, you know, has their own response from their own perspective about the thing that you've been called to do, that you heard in the night or in the shower from the idea being, and then they're going to then come back at you with either some real strong faith and belief and courage and, you know, get it girl kind of thing to you, or if they're, you know, then you start to tell don't tell people that are stuck in fear, okay? Just don't tell those people first. Tell the people that you think are gonna like support you and believe in you and who are also doing cool things with their life. Tell somebody else like who's, you know, like decided they want to be, you know, an artist and they're gonna pursue that and they're, you know, gonna believe in themselves or whatever, they're going to do their dream. Tell somebody who's also handling their own fear first, and then get to the outer circle. But when you get to that outer circle of people who are still in their fear, then their fear is going to catapult onto you like it is a sticky, gooey bomb. And even if you say back to them, I'm not afraid, I'm gonna be okay, I know what I'm doing. You know, like I'm not worried about a nonprofit because I've worked my whole life in a nonprofit sector. You know, like I'm not worried about all of these things. I have been in the church. I've seen the worst of nonprofits. You're not gonna scare me, right? But that sticky, gooey bomb will still stick to me somehow. And I have to go home and then try to like peel it off, wash off all of their fear goo off of me before it like burns my skin. Because the thing is, if you like, you're not, you are human still, right? You know, we can put our shields up and we can try to deflect negative energy and all of that. But at the end of the day, like we're organic material. And if somebody vomits their fear onto us, it's going to be messy on us and we're going to have to go home and clean it off in some way. And you know, you can do that by like dancing it off, or you know, you can use a tuning fork, you can shower, you can vent it out to a friend, right? You know, but like you have to get it off of you. If you don't get it off of you, then it just kind of stays there and it just kind of nags at you and it's like, you know what? Maybe your board members will stab you in the back someday. Maybe you will build this nonprofit up to $25 million and then everything will crash to the ground. Do you still want to do this? Do you still want to do this? And you have to get that off. And you have to say, yeah, you know what? Because I don't know what the end result is. I don't know what the purpose is for this. I don't know why the universe or the idea beings are trusting me with this thing, but I'm going to follow through with it and see where it goes, because sometimes it's not about the outcome. It's just about the making of the thing. It's just about the movement of it. It's just about the journey, right? And we're always just trying to get there. We're trying to get there. We're trying to become the thing or achieve the goal when really it's just about how are we walking and talking and holding ourselves? How are we dancing ourselves there to the end? Are we doing it with integrity? Are we doing it with joy? Or are we even having any fun? You know, are we so afraid that we're gonna fail at getting to the mark that we're not even having any fun trying to get there? You know, so I share all of this to say that I am trying to do big things with my life that require just copious amounts of faith and trust, where I just literally feel like I am stepping off of a cliff and I just have to trust that some sort of invisible bridge is going to be there to get me there. I have to pay my car payment in 5 days and I don't know where that money's coming from. But I am not going to be afraid of it anymore, because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of being afraid. And fear is just an illusion. And once you punch through that illusion, that fear wall, and you get to the other side, you realize, you know what? Money's just energy. Time is energy. Love is energy. Intimacy, connection. It's all energy. And I operate from the place and belief that I have a direct connection into source to get all the energy that I need, whatever kind of energy that looks like. I have a direct connection into the earth, into the divine that is constantly fueling me. And if I can stay in that frame of mind and in that place, then I can get outside of fear and I can actually not be paralyzed, right? Get back into my own power and do the things that need to be done without worrying about who's going to say what about it or whether I'm going to fail. You know what? If I fail at starting a nonprofit that is going to add scientific research into big fields like anxiety and depression, which we're all under right now, PTSD, and all the things, all the way up to cancer and dementia and big things that we can't figure out how to do. If I spend my life's work trusting in building into that base of research to try to add into what we know as human beings about how we can heal ourselves, if I do all of that work and I spend all of that time and I somehow get to the end of my life and I somehow failed at it, it would be like the best thing that I could have failed at, right? I'm doing something that I believe in. I'm doing something that excites me. I'm doing something that I know already works, right? So I'm putting my energy and my time into that. How can that be a failure if what the whole process is, it's not about the end result, it's just about trusting myself. It's just about, can I do something that really excites me in this world and still be provided for? Materially, emotionally, spiritually, all the things, right? Can I do something that I love, that I believe in, that's really filled with love and excitement for me? And can I trust that I'm going to be okay within that? That is a noble cause for my life. How can I ever get to the end of my life and feel like a failure if that's all that I'm trying to achieve, right? So take that story, you're doing something else, you're, whatever it is. Maybe you're starting a dance studio, maybe you want to learn a new instrument or a language or move somewhere, maybe you want to run for public office, or maybe you're being called to get on a video like this and talk about your story, because so many people have so many different perspectives and so many different stories. And in the end, we're all trying to say the same thing, right? Come back to yourself. Don't be afraid of who you are. Don't run away from who you are. If you feel like you're a weirdo and you're not normal, it's like my best friend says, normal is a setting on the dryer. It's not a human characteristic. There's no normal. There's no normal. There's just you. Just be you. You're the you that you need to be. You're the individual perspective that we all need to hear from, right? We can only see from our own angle. So we're asking you over there, hey, what does it look like over there? What can you see? What's it feel like over there? What's it feel like to be you? And if you're trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to be normal, then we're never gonna know what you see and what you feel, right? So this is the message that I am giving to myself right now too. I'm not normal. I'm not normal. And if you're on here trying to listen to a normal person, then you're on the wrong channel. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to talk about a lot of physics on here. I'm going to talk about a lot of philosophy and spirituality and just normal human experiences, right? So there's none of that is normal, but it's all very curious, right? It's all very interesting, and I wonder if you can just listen to it without judging whether it's right or wrong, but just think about it. Just consider it. Just consider it as a possibility in your life. So thank you very much for joining me on my channel, and there'll be much more to come, many more topics, and I'm not even going to limit myself to what I can talk about, because I can talk on a lot of different things. So hope you keep joining me and following me, and love and peace.